Hi there, and welcome to an exciting new episode of Champions of Performance Marketing. Today, we've got a special treat for you. We are joined by Thomas McMahon, the Director of Partnerships at Clickbank, a well-known name in affiliate marketing. Now, this episode is a little different. It's not a live interview. We sent over some questions, and Thomas came back with the answers packed with insights. So, let's hear out what Thomas has to share with us. Hi, Roman. Please tell us, how did you start working in affiliate marketing?
Yeah, I've been at Clickbank for 8 years now, and my role's changed quite a bit in my tenure here, I guess you'd call it that. I didn't expect to be here for 8 years. I didn't expect to be anywhere for 8 years. I think it's pretty uncommon. But Clickbank actually has a pretty good track record of keeping people. But I started as an account manager, so I was just managing the core clients right over the platinum affiliates, and then there were platinum like the BizOp and Make Money Online sellers. And about a year and a half into it, I was moved into a business development manager role. So I was more tasked to onboard new clients in a sales role than to manage existing clients like a farmer role. So I went to hunting versus farming, which I had a lot of mental hangups about. That was a big adjustment period for me. I did okay in it, and then I did really well in it once I kind of figured it out. And then from there, I got bored with that after a little while, or after a number of years. I moved into the partnerships role with Allison to kind of stand up the partnerships team here. I guess you could call it successful from a monetary perspective. It's been pretty successful for most standards and all that kind of thing. From a climbing the corporate ladder perspective, it's been marginally successful. I'm not really focused on title growth. It's more, am I having not fun, but am I motivated and am I fired up about it? And I think that's why I've been successful, is that I get bored with things because I get to a level of competency and expertise in something, and I get looking, I go, what's the next thing? Like, I've learned this. Okay, what's the next thing? I told Kyle Meredith when he joined the team to kind of help me on the business development side, I was like, you should always be looking to replace yourself. If you're doing the same thing in 5 years, we've done something terribly wrong here, or even 2 years. You should always be looking to replace yourself and your skills, whether it's with processes and automation or with other people. Because if I'm still doing the same thing in 2 years from now, yeah, I've probably screwed up something, or things are doing so well in my role that I've continued to level up in it and then I'm having fun in it. So it can still be that. But I think that's been why I've been so successful, is that I have that drive and that future scope to go like, okay, this is where this can take me. This is where this can take me. What if I do this? What if I do that? And it can be analysis by paralysis a bit, but it's that push to keep going. And I am at my worst when I'm stagnant, right? When I'm bored, that's when my energy is low. When I'm not creating, when I'm not having fun, it's just like, oh. But when I'm not doing that, when I'm actually engaged and I'm like, oh, this is fun, and I'm chatting with people and things are happening, I can make things happen. I think a key part of Clickbank's helping it, has been letting me be somewhat entrepreneurial and creating things. Letting me stand up the podcast with Kyle, right? Marketing stood that up for us. The marketing team, whether Taylor and Dylan and Jakes and all those people, they've done all the hard work of actually recording, producing, and listening to us ramble, but letting me get on stage for Clickbank, letting me, right, speak at traffic and conversion, affiliate summits, and all these places, traveling to affiliate worlds to speak, and getting on the podcast for affiliated, getting on our YouTube channel. There's just been opportunities that present themselves that I take. And I've been in a fortunate space, and I've been lucky to a degree that there was a void I filled at Clickbank when some tenured people left and I kind of stepped into some roles. But I've been mindful not to put it all on luck, because I really do think you really can only capitalize on luck if you've done the right things at the right time for those opportunities to present themselves. And I guess I've done enough and put myself in the right places at the right time that I became a face for Clickbank. I was the face for a while. I've kind of taken a step back to focus on other things, but it's like, and that is a bit of hubris talking, but it's also reality where people recognize me in conferences, which isn't that cool, but right. It's like, I'll walk around a conference where like, oh, wow, I listened to your podcast. That was great. And that means a ton to me because I love to put value out there. And for better or worse, I like people to like me. So I like to be liked, and I've thought that was a weakness for a long time, but I've realized that actually lets me be my best self, because if people like me, it's enough. I've helped them in some way. I've added value to their life. I've made them laugh. I've helped them overcome an obstacle. on a consult type call or a sales call for Clickbank, whatever it is, I have benefited them in some way and they like me now. So that's great. So I like people to like me, and yeah, and I ramble a lot, as you can tell. So, so the role has changed quite a bit. I add a lot to my plate that I don't get paid for, right? Podcasting isn't on my job title, right? Speaking isn't on my job title, all that kind of stuff. But I do it to keep pushing myself. I do it to kind of hone an edge. I know it's beneficial for me to have on camera experience. I know it's beneficial for me to be on stage, not just to like get leads from that thing, but because it gets me out of my comfort zone and allows me to build a skill that is valuable. Maybe I'll never use it again, but I highly doubt that's true. And it's something I can lean on and continue to hone and improve. I've got a lot of room for improvement, as you can tell right now watching this. But yeah, it's that constant drive for improvement. And it's not that I'm unhappy where I am. It's just that it's that boredom when you're not learning something new that I'm always trying to get away from. Chasing the dopamine for something new and exciting.
What changes did you notice in terms of compliance in the affiliate marketing space in the last couple of years?
Compliance is really interesting, and it has changed a lot. And it's largely not because of, say, the FTC. I mean, it is because of the FTC and like the government regulators and all that kind of stuff. But the real thing pushing compliance changes that I've seen is Facebook and Google and YouTube, right? It's the places where you can actually run ads. That has forced compliance. When I started at Clickbank 8 years ago, there's a big compliance change that we made where I started 8 years ago, 2016. Yeah. The December of 2016. And I remember we'd started and a whole bunch of clients left when I started because we made this line in the sand for compliance, and all these clients were going to have to change all their VSLs and change all their copy and all that kind of stuff. And so they just left to another platform, which then folded like 6 months later because they couldn't scale with those clients, and they all came back. The point is that compliance is always changing and always, I guess you could call it improving. And marketers would not say it's improving, they're saying it's being inhibitive. But what's happening is Google's and Facebook's and all these platforms, they need a good user experience. You see the same thing in search engine optimization or SEO. Google pushes changes to benefit the user, right? The person actually using Google. Say with someone on Facebook. Facebook pushes changes to benefit those people using Facebook because that's how Facebook makes money, is having more people on Facebook watching ads. So if your ads take away from that user experience because it takes them to a site that is aggressive, makes people feel bad, all that kind of stuff, Facebook pushes different compliance. And then they also don't want to get in trouble with FTC. So they have some standards that are layered in there. But marketers would probably not really follow the FTC compliance just because FTC said this. They're going to follow it because they have to, because Facebook says this, because that's who's controlling the money back. And what I've seen is to back up, and maybe you want to start the video here, it's when Clickbank made that change 8 years ago to force some things that could be a lot more in line with FTC compliance, people left. Now when I see copy, it's usually pretty compliant because people are writing it for Facebook compliance or YouTube compliance and things like that, because they want to be able to run these offers on those programs. But that's why you'll see things now, and the trend has shifted where you don't just have one offer and it's everywhere. You'll have your Facebook compliant landing page here. You'll have your Taboola compliant landing page here, and it's got a different header, and it's got advertisement there, and it's got video play controls, and you've got all this. Then you've got your more aggressive page for emailers, because they don't care quite as much because they assume people aren't going to see it as much or something. So you've got these different levels of compliant landers depending on where the traffic's coming from and and how the traffic's hitting it. The other thing too is that the big shift has been that direct response used to be way over here in this little corner of the world, and e-com and brand stuff was all over here. And that's still largely the case, but there's more and more people coming to the middle. And what that does is then it means you've got this person who isn't just, I'm all branded e-com. I do a lot of customer acquisition that way, but I also have direct response performance channels running over here. And so maybe they're 60-40% customer acquisition, right? And you've got this flip over here. You've got someone who started in pure direct response and they've grown into more of an e-com brand. That's more longevity. And then churning out new offers, it's more of a brand that can build for the long term. And you see both things happening, and that's happening more often because customer acquisition costs are going up. And then this brand can play in both ways, where if they need to suddenly change their copy over here because the FTC said something, they're okay because they've got a lot more stuff running on the e-com perform or branded side. So they're a little bit more stable, have more of a moat around themselves. I think we're going to see more brands trying to do that. And then they can also, right, the e-com brands can actually play in the performance space more and be more profitable, or at least have more customers coming in on that channel versus relying on more expensive branded marketing campaigns.
What are the trends that you see for the affiliate marketing?
So the big trend in affiliate marketing over the last few years, especially in the Clickbank direct response space, has been the move to supplements, where offer owners are making supplement offers, selling 1, 3, or 6 bottles more in the back end. And they have been maximizing average order value over the last 2 years. I thought 2 years ago we'd seen a cap in average order value, but they just keep going up. To the point where now commissions have gone to, like on rev share, affiliates are making $160, $180 or more per sale. On CPA, they're getting $150, $160 per sale. On some offers, that's not the norm, so don't go ask sellers for a whole bunch of that commission. But that shift has really taken over Clickbank's marketplace to where now like the top offers, the top verticals are mostly supplements. There's still a lot of good digital offers. People think digital like went away. That's not true. Just physical grew so much, it became the major part of the pie, but digital has kept growing year over year too. So both are still great, but physical supplements have really taken over that part, right? And if you look at the health space, obviously weight loss is a big one. And then anything like blood sugar, hair, dental has been 2 giant ones that have kind of blown up, especially dental, over the last like 18 months. And yeah, it's interesting to see because I'm not sure how much more people can keep pushing average order values up. I keep saying that and they keep going up. So I'll probably eat some crow with this. I do think we're going to see a trend where the affiliates who understand that they don't have to get the max CPA possible out of these supplement sellers every single time to push a product, and the ones that can work with an offer owner who maybe has a digital program that maybe can pay 80 but converts higher or something like that, who understands that maximizing cost per click or revenue per visitor, it's the same, it's the same math, whether you're an affiliate or a seller. Maximizing that metric versus the most commissions is per sale, are going to be the ones that can outscale and outlast. I really think that the affiliates that can send $10,000 to $20,000 a day every single day for 4 years beat the affiliates that can scale to 6-figure days for a bit on this offer, then they crash, and then have to find another one to scale up and they crash, right? The ones that can stay steady, diversified across a few different offers and keep adding offers to their pipeline as other ones fall off, do a lot better in the long run, and they almost operate on like an agency model. So I think you're going to see those concentrate, which we already are seeing, and the affiliates that can get out of their own way and start to act in that way, work with that, which means the sellers, the ones that can build moats and work with one-to-one affiliates more, especially scaled media buyers, and can kind of build moats around those affiliates to let them play in that space. That's where you're going to see unique relationships happening. You're already seeing that with sellers and affiliates teaming up to launch their own offers, and then they can scale that in-house almost versus relying on a bunch of other media buyers. And then you add on email affiliates on top of that, and you're off to the races. So yeah, I think that trend of more partnerships and layering in skills like media buying and offer and copy creation we're going to see a lot more scale happening with these specific offers.
Do you have any success story that you want to share with us, that you can share with us? In affiliate marketing, of course.
Yeah, so when I think about like one of the bigger success stories, Emily Lark always comes to mind, and it's because there's something actually happened well after she created her product and scaled. But her initial story is incredible too, where she is fully self-started as a new product owner. She was a yoga instructor doing yoga lessons out of a church in Michigan and stumbled into how to make more money online and how to kind of scale this thing up. She came and figured out what Clickbank was, what affiliate marketing was, how to make an offer. It was completely self-taught. to the point where she's actually printing out other people's VSLs, putting them on the floor, kind of highlighting them, figuring out the structure of them, and ended up writing her own VSL, recording it, publishing it, and scaling it. Now, a lot of things had to happen in that for that to work. And one of the biggest things she did was she actually went to the networking events. There's stories of her begging, CEO or VPs at Clickbank to come into a networking room at a ASW or something like that, Affiliate Summit East or something like that. And she did everything right as far as implemented and did all the hard work over and over and over again, networked her tail off to get people to send traffic to her offer, and just kept hustling. And when it clicked big to where she got matched up with a big media buyer who's been driving traffic for ages, and she's partnered with other people to run her email list. And now she has been a diamond seller on Clickbank for, 6, 7, 8 years. But the really cool thing, what I love about Emily, is that she's helped other people come into the space. Alex Miller knew nothing about the space. And I want to say right during COVID, I think, like in 2020. And by early 2021, Alex had made her own offer, had launched it, the Pelvic Floor System, Emily's Back to Life program. And Emily took Alex under her wing, taught her how to write copy, taught her how to make a product, and helped her launch it and scale it and partner with her on it, to where Alex hit diamond within months of launching the offer. And I don't know this for sure, but I think she must have set a record for a true newbie to the space, especially as a seller, and hitting diamond that quickly. Diamond means at least 5 million in sales. And Alex has gone on to do more offers at the same volume and is crushing it herself. So yeah, that story always comes to mind, which is how Emily came into the space herself and has brought other people in and helped them. I think it's a great example of what this space is and how helpful it is. And yeah, go check out Emily Lark, Alex Miller, Pelvic Force Strong, and Back to Life, and you'll get all sorts of inspiration on what you can do yourself.
What is a big problem that you would like to solve in the affiliate marketing space that you see and it bothers you?
Yeah, so I'm not I don't have a big desire to launch an offer or be a big, supplement seller or direct to consumer goods kind of thing. So I definitely would focus on serving the clients I already kind of service, right? The entrepreneurs, the offer owners, the affiliates, the more B2B aspect. There's a lot of different softwares out there you can make. Honestly, I'm not a big tech creator kind of person, so I would probably focus more on the community aspect of things, like how can you actually help people come together. I would really be looking, I think, to help the right people connect at the right time and solve the right problems, which means maybe this is a really simple business model, right? But maybe it's like group consulting and group coaching and things like that with high-level entrepreneurs who can really take action and make things happen in their business. Because what I found is that there's entrepreneurs out there who are very good at one thing and they've gotten into probably a pretty good level of scale at one thing, or they've hit some different plateaus, but they can't get out of their own way and they don't know what lever to pull next to get to the next level of scale. Because there's so many levers to pull, right? And it's usually less about pulling all of them and it's about pulling the right one at the right time and watching it scale. And that's where you get a lot of fulfillment, is when you can help someone realize what that is and help them scale. And it's right. It might not be affiliates, even though hey, I need more affiliates, I need more traffic. It's probably not a traffic problem. Your offer probably doesn't deserve more traffic right now because you have an offer problem. Your offer has a problem because your SOPs and your people aren't in the right spots at the right time to actually execute and make the offer better. So you start going into the roots of the business and how to improve that business. And then you start to see all this fun stuff happening on the marketing and the sales and the sexy stuff. So it's helping, I guess, in the long rambling here, it's helping marketers, or it's helping entrepreneurs with the unsexy parts of their business and helping them execute to that so they can actually go scale bigger and faster and more stable. And that's happy scaling.
And where can people get in touch with you?
Yeah, you can follow and connect with me on LinkedIn, finding Thomas McMahon. You can follow and connect with me on Facebook. Under the same. I usually don't accept requests and all that kind of stuff from people I don't know, but you can follow me there. I'm posting more content to both LinkedIn and Facebook, than other places right now. You can find me and follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Happy Scaling. And depending on if I've paid hosting bills or not, I should actually look at that. You can find me at happyscaling.co and thomasjmcmahon.com. You can email me, thomas@clickbank.com, or contact@happyscaling.co. And listen to the affiliated podcast that Clickbank puts out. I co-host it with Cal Casecha, and we have some amazing guests on there, cover all kinds of industry topics in the affiliate and direct response marketing space. So that's affiliated by Clickbank. Happy scam.